What's up, guys? It's Elijah from Ela Gaming. Let's continue where we left off in Final Fantasy ff14.
Five reasons Blackout was better than Warzone. The first thing is the character unlock quest. I bet a bunch of you guys forgot that you could even unlock new characters in Blackout. You would have to compete different quests like picking up a special item and finishing in the top 5 with it in your inventory, just adding another level of depth to the game. Then you had the zombies. There were different zombie POIs with parts of like OG Zombies map like Rugged, Transit, and Berry. And at these locations you could get wonder weapons like the ray gun. And the Misery boss could spawn. Then you have less cheaters. Warzone is just infected with cheaters. I assume because it's free to play and it's got crossplay enabled, so maybe it's not really a fair comparison. Then you have the different armor types. There were 3 tiers of armor types, with each one adding a little bit more protection than the previous. And the number one reason is no loadouts. Loadouts make Warzone feels so repetitive, dude. Everybody just drops in and gets their meta loadout with the most OP weapons and perks and shit, and it's just like how it actually felt like a legit VR. Let me know in the comments though, did you
want out? Could you work a full match right now? Chris, I haven't worked a real match. I don't work matches.
That's not true. We've all seen WLC.
Doesn't get any bigger than this, and these fans are in for one JBL show. It's rolling $4.5 million.
Yeah, but that's the I'm never touching that again. And I had 19 other guys helping me with that as well. Like that's obviously the most proud I've ever been in that match.
I can't believe that. Oh, yeah!
Could you work a full match right now?
Chris, I haven't worked a real match. I don't work matches.
That's not true. We've all seen WLC.
Doesn't get any bigger.
What got me?
5, I wanted to kind of discuss with you guys what this could potentially mean for all of us. I know there was a lot of confusion when the Expo themselves came out and corrected the information that was now, but them doing this shows us that they're at least practically understanding how quickly the fan base can learn something and get the information out like wildfire. That information spread within a couple of hours, and it was all over the internet. It was crazy. So if you guys didn't see our last few Dragon Ball Super videos, we'll link them up at the top of the screen right now so you can go watch those and get the full scope of my thoughts during those moments in time. But while a lot of my thoughts haven't necessarily changed from the last couple of Super videos that we've done, I wanted to further elaborate and speculate on what I assume could be happening when Toyotaro takes that stage on July 6th. And just to give you guys the exact quote so there's no further confusion, the initial tweet that went out before the correction stated that Toyotaro was set to speak on an original manga he would soon be working on to Dragon Ball's editor at the panel. But a few days later, a page called Red Ribbon DBZ would clarify these translations and new description confirmed by the Expo. DBS Hype's tweet would read, after clarification with Japan Expo themselves, it turns out that Toyotaro is not working on any new manga or any original manga, mind you. The site phrased the panel description horribly. Instead, Toyotaro is set to talk about the Dragon Ball Super manga with Torishima, Dragon Ball's editor, on July 6th. And this is verbatim from Twitter, as you guys can see. I'll have it up on the screen right now. So, fortunately, it doesn't look like Dragon Ball Super is being shelved or anything crazy like that. Of course, see, I mean, it's already kind of been on the shelf for over a year now. But it is getting to the point where the fans like, we gotta know something. We've been on hiatus since the end of the superhero arc, and that big sparring match between Ultra Instinct Goku and Beast Gohan, that was the last time Super kind of broke the internet. So what did Toyotaro be announcing or discussing when it comes to Super? Literally anything he says, I mean, we are starving right now. So just the mention of this panel even happening, it's got mouths watering right now. I think there's a good chance that more than just the Dragon Ball Super manga gets talked about at the Expo, but that's strictly my own headcanon. There's been nothing specifically revealed that indicates this, so take that with a grain of salt. That's just what I think. However, when it comes to Toyotaro and his business with the Dragon Ball Super manga, I feel like we all have the same one hope. We're all thinking and wishing for the same thing. Toyotaro announcing that he'll be taking over the manga indefinitely and giving a release date for the return is the best case scenario we could ask for. If this is the case, I could see the return date maybe being around the end of the summer, possibly August or even September, unless next month's B-Jump, which should be coming out around the time of the Expo or maybe a little after, give or take a couple of days, has scans and additional info. Although I don't think they would have any additional info until this panel comes out. They would want Toyotaro to speak on it and bring whatever news he has first. We've seen Toyotaro keeping his pen sharp too, with almost monthly illustrations in some capacity ever since the hiatus began, and we, of course, unfortunately lost Toriyama. But it's about time that he comes out and directly addresses everything that he's able to. Of course, obviously, we don't know what type of NDAs or contracts that he's under that's restricting him from speaking about certain things. In an appearance he made a few months back, he also spoke about being excited to continue giving us more fights in Dragon Ball Super, and he spoke about this in length in a video as well. I think this happened on a Japanese talk show or podcast. I'm pretty sure this was actually last year, so it's been a while since this happened, but we did a video on this, so I'm sure you guys probably remember exactly what this was better than I do. So this makes me hopeful that when he does come back and speaks about the manga, he'll be bringing us more news this time and not just kind of words of affirmation. But again, we don't know what he's able to talk about. If the Dragon Ball Super manga does return this year, I think the most logical and anticipated direction that they can move forward with the story is reintroducing Black Frieza and starting some sort of Black Frieza centered arc. Black Frieza only appeared for a single chapter at the end of the Granola arc. We know that Frieza came across a rogue spirit in time somewhere in Universe 7 and trained here for a total of 10 years. Of course, this was 10 years in...
This is Puree Sweet Tea. It's Sprite Plus Tea. It's better than tea. It has Sprite and tea flavors. I've been talking to baby. And what did you do to my bitch? Try new Sprite Plus Tea all day you're thirsty.
best time this weekend to host a backyard barbecue? And what's something impressive I can grill that I don't have to stand right next to the whole time?
I had the room of spirit in time in only, a couple of months outside in the real world while the events of the Granola Saga were happening. When he reappeared, he was stronger than everyone. Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta, even Gas and Granola, who had prior made wishes to the Cerulean Dragon to become the strongest in the universe, sans the gods of destruction and angels of wars. This was explained that because Frieza was in the Room of Spirit in Time while these wishes were made, and this is technically, the Room of Spirit in Time is technically a different dimension, he wasn't in the present universe at the time, so these wishes didn't apply to his strength. Frieza got his strength the old-fashioned, honest way, and when he showed up, he didn't hesitate to demonstrate it by not only killing Gas, but he also one-shot Ultra Ego Vegeta and Ultra Instinct Goku. While they had just recently gotten healed by Monado, so no, they were not exhausted, they were not hurt, they were not on their last leg. They had just recently I think it was the chapter before this actually, Monado had just healed them. So they were relatively near full strength. I'm not going to say that they were 100% at full strength. Black Frieza one-shot them both in their strongest forms. So, with the superhero arc now being wrapped up in the manga, I think it is finally time to address Black Frieza properly now. Where is this new Room of Spirit and Time? What exactly was Frieza doing differently during this training than when he achieved his golden form? And what is the state of his character now? Is he back to being a villain? Which could be argued against since he let Goku and Vegeta live and only killed Gas when he showed up in Planet Cereal? Or is he just more of an antagonist permanently now? He seems to look at them more as rivals now instead of enemies, which could mean that a future Black Frieza arc might not just be about Goku and Vegeta trying to get rid of Frieza for good. I think, I don't know, it's kind of like a coin flip on how that could go, seeing how Frieza's character is at this point in time. This is still one of Vegeta's goals though, and we saw back on Planet Beerus that he was deep in thought, remembering how powerful Black Frieza was when he knocked he and Goku out, and this was his drive for the foreseeable future to continue getting stronger. But Frieza has his own goals. If Black Frieza's goals moving forward involve dethroning any of the gods of destruction, then a potential battle against Beerus may still be on the table, and I know that's one thing a lot of us, me especially, are hoping for. I actually think this is a perfect time in Dragon Ball Super story for someone to officially be stronger than Beerus and defeat him, because he's constantly just been this moving goalpost throughout the series, and we've done numerous videos on this. Beerus is just, no matter how strong Goku, Vegeta, or anyone else for that matter gets, it was always like they would just be one tier below Beerus no matter what. But Black Frieza finally being stronger than him after the light work he made of Goku and Vegeta in their strongest forms, mind you, is almost overdue at this point, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think if Black Frieza does confront Beerus, he needs to win to give this new power of his any relevance, or just not confront the gods at all if they're not going to let him take that victory over Beerus. Hopefully Toyotaro speaks on Black Frieza in length at this panel, and maybe gives us some insight on how he wants to move the story forward with such a significant development right before the manga went on hiatus. Sometime last year, there was also rumor of a new Dragon Ball Super movie being announced in 2025 as well. While there's no confirmation on this, and there's been no more info on this rumor ever since it was initially talked about, hopefully this will be another point that Toyotaro brings up, and maybe there will be more clarification on this too. Now, since the Expo went out and corrected this false information that was going around prior, that lets me know that they know the things that the fan base is talking about, so they know that we're kind of expecting a movie to be announced soon in the next, I'd say, year or two, I guess. They know that we still think about the anime returning at some point. They know we're still waiting on any news on the manga. They know this stuff. The last movie we had, of course, was the superhero movie back
Platform
in
to show you Ren Stein's Kenji Tony rubbing its toll.
Animated in 2018, guys. It's been 7 years. Like, entire
Back to working
anime
for Does
series
Man see Haba, just even I can appreciate 4 minutes such yourself a little time for many old tasks. Let's just hear me have a keen on having a look around Stein's new home. See that price structure there, that's the place. Originally built a house branches good, you see as that shit comes complete with tavern where eventually west from the road, fill the bows with good food and drinking and leaders. The tales of torture be had about the realm. May get a bit rock this time, but imagine it'll be a good place to recruit kick from the land and women to across coming and show you around. That UELM starting over by Emma Surgeon is we see good thanks for getting the peers audience requiring once a must get Caesar back to the walk waking sands of all due haste. Quite all right, friend.
Possibly take a lot longer, or if it's possible to get this sooner, would you like
I
to
could
have
send print deals the details, but it would appear there's no time for leisure story. But no worries, you can rest they'll see you all in Ridge. Yes, sir, Ridge. Pray return anytime you have to be seen to do more pressing matters.
So make sure you guys tap in on July 6th for hopefully some groundbreaking news surrounding Dragon Ball Super and the manga specifically. But anyways, fellas, that is going to do it for this one. I don't want to make this video too long. Just a little discussion on the state of Dragon Ball Super right now. Have a great day. And I'm going to see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.
There are more games with the Xbox Game Pass. Check it out. So let's get straight to it. Those games are FBC Firebreak, Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, Ultimate Randomly, Turtle Dive, Star Trek, Wild Cross, Rematch, Volcano Princess Against the Storm. Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, Call of Duty World War 2, Little Nightmares 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and there's also some DLC and updates coming as well with Fallout 76, Dawn Mission, Minecraft, Chicken Sky, and Dead by Daylight, Five Nights at Freddy's. Now some of these games are already on the game as you can see right here on the page. And the games that I really want to play are FBC Firebreak, Crash Bandicoot 4, Ultimate Randomly, Turtle Dive, and Rematch. And a couple games that I've played that I highly recommend that you should get on is Little Nightmares 2 and Rise of the Tomb Raider. I had a lot of fun playing on those games. Those shits are pretty goddamn decent, man. They was dropping on July 1st, so make sure you got these on your wish list or you got some likes or whatever the game may be. So that when you drop on Game Pass, you get the notification, you download the mission to play mode right in and out. So once again, man, the Xbox Game Pass provides a whole lot of value, and there's more games coming to Game Pass day one this year. I don't know how I'm going to be able to manage my time and play all of these games and beat all of these games, but I will find a way and it will be done. You feel me? How are you able to manage to play all these games, bro? Because there's a lot of games that's coming on the Game Pass alone. And that's outside all the games that's dropping. That's not on the Game Pass, not on the subscription services. You feel me? It's just too much to play right now. But Xbox Game Pass provides, bro. So I'm trying to be a subscriber and I will be playing a lot of these games. But you let me know in the comments. What games have you been
Who's still
playing?
coming? I pray it will not come too soon. There are reasons to believe that another part of the Lord, and resembling one has been something like Daniel.
So let's get straight to it.
Probably Shiva or Phoenix.
Well, folks, it's about that time. I got tagged this one today. This is
The final rivals customarily timely. The Aether waves leave little room for doubt. They attempt to be used along. If their true suspicion is statistic, the normally post the one quite unlike the blade of the vortex. You dare not wrong. But as you were just saying, it's really very strong with prevalence ones observed more than 5 years ago. But I had hoped the most guard on such follows. So I say this term warrants a full investigation.
Sure, he gets an upgrade later, but this guy still doesn't feel like the Scorpion. This guy isn't a psychopath.
Thy presence hath and requested by Commander he laid us the ethic matters. Pray has into Gordanian, Eli Ida, happily over that red rise. If you there may walk in the light of the crystal.
Gargan is a crazed killer who only cares about himself and money, and this one embodies that to a T. This is the best design for Scorpion is. You got it. Well, folks, it's about that time. I got tagged this one. This is which is my meditation Scorpion here. Friendly neighborhood spot.
I'm prepared to just the way you like it.
But I'm perfect without the nails. Do or die in my city, but clearly I never fail. Lost myself in the game when I found myself in a cell. Then I found myself in the fame when I lost myself in the pill. They cannot miss what we steal. See the boys and they waiting. I'm the dogs of the year. Leave the boys in the building. What the fuck is this? I'm taking this to the top. And when I leave, the whole world drop. They suck kills.
Back when I watched WWE week to week, WWE hasn't been good enough to watch week to week in years. What item level is this? better. We go get a water. Sorry it took me so long. I was getting pizza. Excuse me. Excuse me. Other signs have already arrived, so may I show you in? We got everybody and their mother here. Kubo! Please, you have to stop them, but you must kill them. They're not bad Moogles. They're just misguided gentlemen. I feel for brash using order, yes, but no. How many stuff can you not see that he has the face that you should talk about with quiet this instant? Please, pray forgive his waitlist out for sister. Most gratefully am I that you have come, Eli, and upon such short notice, truly good day. And I wish for a more stalwart ally. Be right back. I'm gonna wash my hands because they're greasy.
sales on eBay? Same here. Until I tried this one fix. I had this video game listed for $2. No sales on eBay? Same here. Until I tried this one fix. I had this video game.
But you're doubtless eager to know where which summons you are. Confronting Tupelo plot cop has brought to us news of the most unsettling development. Soon the God King, Good King King Mogul Mug X2 has returned to yours. A curious thing here. I know truth to tell. I myself cannot say sure if he is a general figure for history, some manifestation of Mughal mythology. Kuplo, you would have me believe this former. Upon time when Mughals saw the gods in the heavens, it was quite nice up there, particularly beautiful, magically spacious, but a literally endless supply of wine could go. In spite of this, or possibly because the last part of gods eventually became disoriented, discontented, started squabbling, which made life jolly difficult for the poor people. So good King Mogulmog at 12, may his glorious name live forever. Agreed that the time had come to leave Kupa, the realm man with advice. This is all the Mughals should live here and there instead. Fortunately, two realms are so far apart that we couldn't safely fight out, but God, good King Mogulmog 12, may his miraculous foresight be praised, knew exactly what to do. Kubo, he had a rope, you see, the longest one ever welded. This he nobly held while his subject climbed all the way down to the world below. And this is how the Mughals came to this land. Kubo, all this said, good King Mogulmog 12, may his courageous sacrifice never be forgotten. Alone in the heavens of the Mughal God might at last know peace. Except that he's not remaining in the heavens from what I stand at being near. Reason for contacting us, yes, I'll bet he tied the rope to something good thing. Remind me again. Problem was with him returning to Ezor. Problem, the lies back that he was summoned. As relates to good King Mogulmog 12 was a myth made manifest via means. Akin to those employed by the beast tribes and summon their gods. Wait, you're telling a handful of Mughals with bubble of crystals which really hard who just sort of appeared, would that even work? Can't fathom why they would even try. Baru humbled in the old weapon store when new threat could have pumped him and take advantage of the master. Might that not be in itself beating us twice the last time they go? The heroes that has been brought out to the bring traditional energies shared in the last by the heroes who choose a few. You'll brave those tempests ride by virtue of your own strength. This latest period of peace will doubtless seem welcome recite. But to those who had not the power to defend itself, who were spared only by those grace smoothly calm before a storm. Kings and Mongols guard are afraid of what tomorrow will bring, and that my things may not end as so well as they did yesterday. Fear is driving them to call upon a greater power, one they believe can be relied upon to protect their loved ones from their homes come what may. Sure, the Mongols guard only want to protect the forest from outsiders, but ever since the return of good King Mogulmog 12, may his boundless grace fill our hearts. Beloved, they started to get a little carried away. Kupo, Veggie, working on a lot. In fact, like the selfish some ramen, you mean? We can't discount the this entity is losing the Mughals in the fact may have similar to that point we should have sent containers. Whatever the king may be, it is our belief that he puts threat not like in conduct the reign as a whole. Those who do siege you. He like confront good King Mogulmog 12 has got him from our midst. What a name. Humbly I do thank you. Thanks for the Mongols guard and the liege lords concealed by magic words, brother Isumi. The gorgeous conquerors will doubtless be able to offer on how they might be self-praised. Seek his counsel that you proceed any further.
your host, Papa Cap and Yo Ass Jones. Tonight's story, CNN weather reporter and local host Keisha McRib thinks she's too good for me. The part-time weather reporter and full-time community mattress was begging me to come through and lay this pipe last Friday, but now she want to act like she don't know me. She ain't ever had a problem asking me to pay for her food, but when it come time to show me what that mouth do, the hoe proudly lied, I ain't that kind of girl. So we just gonna act like you ain't already popping Plan Bs like they a daily vitamin. Hopefully, the dry cleaners won't even take your business anymore. They all tired of cleaning up baby batter stains off your clothes. Don't ever ask me to DoorDash you no crab legs again. You ain't never gonna feel these biggity black balls snocking all up on that tuna fish hot pocket garage door. And she wanna walk around here like we strangers now? Here's a forecast for any men thinking they about to get some neck work from this hoe. Expect a 100% chance of STD. To the black list.
Weapon in Elden Ring, it's definitely the Eclipse Shogun. This thing is all around terrible. It doesn't scale well, it requires a ton of faith and dex to even use, and it inflicts death blight, which isn't useful on 99% of enemies. You can't change its Ash or more, and even at plus 10. What is the worst weapon in Elden Ring? It's definitely the Eclipse Shogun. This thing is all around terrible. It doesn't scale well, it requires a ton of faith and dex to even use, and it inflicts death blight, which isn't useful on 99% of enemies. You can't change its Ash or more, and even at plus 10, its damage is horrible. And since it's one of the 9 legendary equipments, it's honestly just a huge letdown. What is the worst weapon in Elden Ring? It's definitely the Eclipse Shogun. This thing is all around terrible. It doesn't scale well. It requires a ton of faith and dex to even use, and it inflicts death blight, which isn't useful on 99% of enemies. You can't change its Ash or more, and even at plus 10, its damage is horrible. And since it's one of the 9 legendary equipments, it's honestly just a huge letdown. What is the worst weapon in Elden Ring? It's definitely the Eclipse Shogun. This thing is all around terrible. It doesn't scale.
Once you dare to lie to me, Cooper, I know what you're planning. I won't do it. Open your eyes, Cooper. The king will never be satisfied, no matter how many crystals you bring him. You have a choice in inside your pants, like I thought it was here. Feels grenade still, if you know different from the rest of them. Actually, worse, Cooper. Traitor to his kin noodles, he plots treats against the crown. About to beat that ass. And now Cooper Copple answers his crimes as who will all who defy the will of King Good King Mongol 12 may reign forevermore, Cooper. He's playing a person 12 of his day. We've got to stop before it's too late. I'm gonna go tell my dad something. Send the king back whence he came. Thorn Mac hard, so this is already a hard one from the start. It doesn't have a regular version.
Dressed up as Pinhead for Halloween Havoc.
That was my favorite.
It was perfect.
Thank you. I watched a lot of YouTube tutorials.
You did it yourself?
I did it myself, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, all of my costumes and makeup for Halloween Havoc I did myself.
What was the runner-up? If that's number one, what was the runner-up?
Oh, maybe like the Frankenstein one that I did, just because like I feel like that was so classic and that was the first look I did on Halloween Havoc. So that one has like a sentimental value to it.
I think what's great is when people think of you. What was the biggest difference? Between the four-sided, was there a part of you right after getting released where like your love for wrestling maybe took a hit, where you're like, man, I love this so much, I gave so much of myself to this, and now I don't have it anymore?
Yeah, so it was very weird. Because, like I said, when I discovered it when I was 8 years old, and I'm one of those people that when I like become obsessed with something, I just have tunnel vision, and that's all I want to do, and that's all I care about. I'm 24 years old now, so that was 16 years of my life I dedicated to this. Like, I dropped out of high school at 15 and finished online in a year so I could start wrestling training. And I was wrestling by the time I was 17, and then I got signed, or my tryout at 19, and then signed at 20. So it was like just this constant thing of WWE. I tried to make it to WWE for 16 years, and now that's stopped. So I have to continue on.
What can I get you? Was there a part of you right after getting released where like your love for wrestling? What can I get? Could you work a full match right now?
Chris, I haven't worked a real match. I don't work matches.
That's not true. We've all seen WLC.
Any bigger than this, and these fans are in for one JBL show. It's rolling.
What's the story behind that original photo? There's the match where you go through a table and you bleed like I've never seen someone bleed before.
Oh, yeah, the Texas Death Match with Chris. That was one of the matches that really kind of just put me on the map for a singles wrestler, because after that match, when I was standing up, like the whole crowd was standing up and they were like chanting "Thank you, Cowboy." You know, I was like, all right, this is cool. Chris goes to spear me off the ring apron onto a table, and he hits me so hard that the back of my head actually hit the concrete. And if you watch the match, as soon as I hit, the referee comes over and he grabs my hand or whatever. And I tell him, I say, go ask Chris what the next spot is, because I forgot. But luckily, you know, they came to pretty quick, and I just slid in the ring and we finished the matches.
Is there a match, promo, a storyline that you're really proud of?
Well, I mean, I guess, like, the first thing that comes to mind is, like, shaving my head on TV for my sister, you know? Like, that was something that just meant a lot to me. You know, I didn't get a ton of, like, storyline